Your vice president, Kamala Harris, has been coming out of the woodwork. She not only did a CNN interview with Dana Bash. You remember that one where she got softball questions and, everything was shaped nicely for her. She also went on a debate that we saw where she may have gotten help from her earrings, as one has been saying on the internet. She's been coming out. She did another interview in Philadelphia. And if you remember, about 2 months ago, she was invited to, along with President Trump, to the, Black Journalist Broadcasting. You remember the one where President Trump said to the woman, "What a nasty way to introduce somebody. What a nasty question." Maybe I'll drop a short. So yes, so this time Kamala Harris came and the reception was very, very different. But in this video, what I'm going to cover is several questions that was posed to Miss President to be, if the machines work out the way they plan, that she was given a great reception and she answered some questions. But we had a couple of reporters on that panel, 3 of them. Out of the 3, 2 of them, started out with the one lady. She pushed back on some things. And our friend, the third person, jumped in and he pushed back on a question. We're really focusing on 2 things: guns and Gaza. And guns in America, that is, and then the situation in Gaza and Israel. So that's what we're looking at today. Hopefully you will enjoy it. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Our girl, again, she lays out the question, and Kamala, of course, goes in circles and tangos and Zumba and cha-cha all around it. Let's go. Cha-cha-cha, Kamala. Cha-cha-cha, Kamala. Cha-cha-cha, Kamala.
President, I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about the war in Gaza. Mm-hmm. You've called for a ceasefire hostage deal and a 2-state solution as an end to the war for many months now. And while you've expressed support for Israel to defend itself, a 2-state solution and a ceasefire are at odds with what Benjamin Netanyahu has said is their right to defense. If it matters, as you say, how Israel defends itself, where do you see the line between aggression and defense? And our power as Israel's ally to do something.
Okay.
And while you've expressed support for, you see the line between aggression and defense.
Look at this. So at this point, the reporter stopped. Kamala is supposed to jump in at this point to get the talking going, to get the salad going, to get the chop going. She's supposed to be jumping in, but you look. Not sure where to go with this. Here she go.
And our power as Israel's ally to do something.
Okay, a lot to unpack in what you just said. So let's start with this. I absolutely believe that this war has to end, and it has to end as soon as possible. And the way that will be achieved is by getting a hostage deal and a ceasefire deal done.
Oh, this war goes into 1 year in October. Today is September 18th. So we're shy of a year from this war. In a year, the Biden administration, the Kamala administration, the Kamala Biden team, the Democrats have not been able to do anything except what? Send money to both sides of the aisle. Yeah. Both sides of the aisle. They're funding a 3-dog race because they're sending money to Iran too, right? Yeah.
And we are working around the clock to achieve that end. Stepping back, October 7, 1,200 Israelis were slaughtered, and actually, and some Americans, by the way, in that number, slaughtered. Young people who were attending a concert, women were horribly raped. And yes, so I have said, Israel has a right to defend itself. We would.
But Madam Vice President, I think my ask is the difference between aggression and defense.
But it's important to put it in context.
Yo, this reporter pushed back. Madam Vice President, that's not what I asked you. I didn't ask you to dance around this thing. I asked you specifically. I need you to answer me specifically. So both times, this girl had to redirect Kamala Harris back to the question at hand instead of taking us around the world for a dog and pony show, right? And I'm so glad that she was able to say, look, interrupt her and say, I need you to refocus back on what I've asked you. That's what I need you to do.
Which is what I'm doing, and I'll get to that. And so how it does so matters. And far too many innocent Palestinians have been killed, women and children. We have seen with horror the images coming out of Gaza. And we have to take that seriously. And we have to agree that not only must we end this war, but we have to have a goal of a two-state solution, because there must be stability and peace in that region, in as much as what we do in our goal is to ensure that Israelis have security and Palestinians in equal measure have security, have self-determination and dignity.
A question for you on that, though. What levers does the U.S.
I don't think she ever answered her question. I really don't think she ever answered the question. She said, I will get back to that. I will get back to that. I will be returning back to your question, but first I got to lay down this framework. I'll get back to that. That's what she said, but I don't think she ever did. You tell me in the comments, did she get back to that? Because I don't think she did.
have to support Palestinians in their right to self-determination? And is it even possible as Israel's ally?
Well, absolutely. I will tell you, I have been actively involved in, for example, meeting not only with Israeli officials, but with Arab officials.
When she meet with them? Bibi Netanyahu was right here in your house. He was right here in the Congress. He came. This was about a month ago. Bibi was here. Kamala Harris wasn't there. Joe Biden wasn't there. A lot of the people were not there. Did you even meet with him? I don't know. Did she meet with him while he was here? Oh, the word on the street was she didn't want to meet with him publicly because she didn't want, because it could be a bad look because of, you know, her base trying to protest her in reference to supporting Israel. So she didn't want those optics of her and Bibi Netanyahu and pictures together. So they back alley style, like she used to do with Willie Brown. Couldn't help but throw that in there.
To talk about how we can construct a day after scenario where we participate in ensuring those exact goals that I outlined, including as part of the principles that should be applied to those goals, that there be no reoccupation of Gaza, that there be no changing of the territorial lines in Gaza, that there be an ability to have security in the region for all concerned in a way that we create stability, and let us also recognize in a way that ensures that Iran is not empowered in this whole scenario in terms of the peace and stability of the region.
That means you're going to stop sending money to them? You're going to stop funding everybody? You're funding everybody. Everybody's getting a piece of the American chicken pot. Everybody's getting a piece of this chicken pie, right? Palestinian gets some, Israel gets some, Iran gets some. Everybody's getting a piece of this pie. The American tax-paying dollars. Everybody's getting a piece of this to fuel this war that you don't even know how to even end. We must put a deal together. We must have a deal together. We've got to get a deal. Well, friend, what are you proposing when it comes to this deal? What are you proposing? What is your plan?
But absolutely, the United States of America absolutely has a role, which is why we have been active, in particular with the Qataris and the Egyptians, around attempting to get a deal done and get it done as quickly as possible.
But Madam Vice President, just to follow up really quickly, is there a specific policy change that you, as President of the United States, would say you would do that would help this along? Because you've gotten a lot of credit for emphasizing the humanity of Palestinians, but what I often hear from folks is that there's no policy change that either you or President Biden have gone and said they would do. Is there a specific policy change as president that you would do in our helping of Israel?
We need to.
Hold on. Thanks, friend. I sort of missed him. I kind of pushed him to the side as, he didn't have any very good, strong questions, but I kind of like that question of hitting the policy. Like, what is your specific policy that you got planned for this here situation? What's your policy? And if your policy is different than your boss, Joe Biden, this is her opportunity to kind of throw Joe Biden under the bus and say, here's my plan. Here's what I plan to do. Joe Biden hasn't done nothing for a year, but here I am as the VP, as president. Here's what I'm going to do. This is our opportunity to steal the moment and say, here's what you're going to do. And then throw old Joe Biden under the bus for the second, third time, fourth time. How many times she done? Yeah, she pulled out that knife, that coup. Yeah, let's see what she say.
Get this deal done. And we need to get it done immediately. And that is my position, and that is my policy. We need to get this deal done.
But in the way that we send weapons, in the way that we interact as their ally, are there specific policy changes?
Well, Eugene, for example, one of the things that we have done that I am entirely supportive of is the pause that we put on the 2,000-pound bombs. And so there is some leverage that we have had and used. But ultimately, the thing that is going to unlock everything else in that region is getting this deal done. And I'm not going to disclose private conversations, but I will tell you, I've had direct conversations with the Prime Minister, with the President of Israel, with Egyptian leaders, and with our allies. And I think we've made ourselves very clear this deal needs to get done in the best interest of everyone in the region, including getting those hostages out who, we saw the latest example of what happened with the six most recently, one of whom was an American citizen.
But what do you say to those that say that's not enough, that stopping the 2,000-pound bombs the one time wasn't enough, that this administration, your possible administration, has to do more?
Holy crap. This guy actually pushed back. This guy actually asked some questions. And again, you can see she's not trying to answer it. She's just tangoing around it. We need to get this deal done. We need to get this deal done. We got to get the deal done. I'm talking to the people. We're going to get a deal. That's not a plan. Like, what do you plan on doing? Oh, I can't disclose it at this moment. I can't disclose about my conversations. I can't disclose about the talks. I can't disclose. But we're going to get a deal done. We're going to get a deal done. That's all she got is we're going to get a deal done.
Well, we are doing the work of putting the pressure on all parties involved to get the deal done. But let me be very clear also. I support Israel's ability to defend itself. And I support the need for Palestinians to have dignity, self-determination, and security as we move forward and get a two-state deal done. But right now, the thing we need to get done is this hostage deal and this ceasefire deal. We need a ceasefire. We need the hostage deal.
Ladies and gentlemen, We just need to get a deal done. We're going to just get a deal done. That's all we're doing. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. So, Kamala, I thought this interview was really great. I picked bits and pieces of it that I wanted to share. There's a lot of elements to it. And, there's parts of it where she talks about reparations and parts of it where she pretty much pulls out the black woman card, the black queen card. There's a whole lot to this, but I wanted to really focus on these two questions that she really didn't have the answers to. And I don't think she answered anything very well. I mean, again, this one is we need to get the deal done, but yet you're not telling anybody anything about what you're doing. And then the other one, again, she danced around it, did not say how she's going to prevent these crimes, if she's going to lock people up for coming out here and shooting and killing people every weekend, every day. Well, we're gonna sing Kumbaya. We're gonna have counseling. We're gonna do that. We're gonna go back to their childhood and figure it out. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna figure it out from the birth. Friend, if you enjoyed that segment, then watch the full episode right here.